Hey everyone, today we're back with another E7 Masters video. I originally hoped that I would be talking about W. Richard, but sadly W. Richard didn't make it through the round of 16. He got sadly knocked out. Very clear and clean 3-0, even if I'm remembering correctly. So too bad he wasn't locked in. So I decided, because Sindri, my beloved guildmate, also got knocked out, and I wanted to originally also show off his games, but what's there to show off? He got unlucky. He said himself that he had some unfortunate drafts, and I would kind of agree, but I'm more so leaning towards that he got unlucky, actually. I don't think it was Sindri's draft. They were fine, IMO. It was just, yeah, it didn't work out as he hoped. Anyway, and then I decided, well, elfmage was playing too, and he won, albeit it being very close. But there were some moments that I really liked. And in this video, I want to show off these moments. So let me activate the capture. And there we go. So, elfmage, Omega in-game versus Fan was is the match that I want to talk about. Elfmage won this 3-2, and there were a couple of things that were kind of funny here. So first game, we get a very classic Zeo cleave from elfmage in this case, and it's a natural thing to do, right? You see Dien Estelle on 1-2, Renark on 3, and taking off tempo on 4-5 from Fan, and the only reaction, especially when you have Salome Ruel mage for a reason, very iconic of him to pick Ruel into anything. And he picked 3 on 3, so I can understand the LRK pick from Fan. I do believe that LRK's value has fallen off as a Crown of Glory holder, and I believe Arunca is a better target these days to use it on if you only have one copy, because Arunca is just more of a force to be reckoned with than Kraus, because Arunca by herself soaks up more damage because you have to target her. You cannot target anybody else. Sure, free runs first S3 is going to hurt still, but anything else, you're pretty much free. So this the draft. Elfmage's draft is really strong here, and the game, let's be honest, it wasn't that exciting. Naturally, Elfmage would S3 on the Renak, and then he copies the free run. He S3s, he gets countered. He S3s again, and this basically kills off the entire enemy team, right? So rather boring moment in this case, but it shows the strength of just Zeo Cleave in this case. So the second game I found really funny too, because Elfmage, and I really like this draft, honestly. Elfmage's draft is genius in this case. And I want to briefly explain why. This is a genius draft by Elfmage, and spoilers, he lost that game, but he shouldn't have. Because the obvious ban here is Christie. So your pirate flan, who got buffed recently, can basically wreak havoc on the entire enemy team. You don't necessarily care about what's his name, Genesis Ras, because you have both Maid and Illinov, and effectively Fan has to ban Last or RB just to have a chance. I don't quite remember what Fan banned. It was, yeah, Elfmage banned correctly. He banned Christie. The Tenebria got banned. And let me show one of the cooler things with Pirate Flan. Yeah, his Elfmage's Pirate Flan is super fast. He has her at opener speed, which I like. I can build my Flan on opener speed, but it's an incredibly strong build having her on opener speed. And what Pirate Flan does after a buff is she steals 2 buffs from the enemy, I believe. Yeah, it should be 2 with the EE. And that means, for example, in this case, we steal the immunity and the barrier off of what's her name? Abigail, and you would also steal the escort off of the Arrowell, which is very nice. And I'm not quite sure. I believe it should be random on whom it goes. Let me quickly check in game. I've only used my flan a couple of times so far. Where is she? There she is. So this is my flan for comparison, but she's more a follow up. Um, Stealing 2 buffs, correct? And randomly granting them to allies before, yeah. So it's random. Oh, I should also mola her to plus 15, I just realized. I'll do that actually, before I forget, I'll just do it right now. But yeah, Pirate Flan, which is the reason why I like Pirate Flan these days. She's so versatile and she provides infinite tempo to the team. So yeah, I really like this unit. And let's see her strength here. So naturally, Elfmage is going to S3, get rid of all the buffs, and the huge upside of Flans S3 is that. Oh, okay, interesting take. I would have not as one tier. I would have just stolen the buffs, but it's okay. But nonetheless, what he does, or what he did, is he guaranteed the stun on the Celine, and got himself one turn, well, to live, so to say. Now, always keep in mind that Abigail protects the backline at least once, so the Celine will have one additional life here, which gets procced right away. No, not quite. She resisted, and we can see the effect of the pillage. Arby now has immunity, and funnily enough, the maid Chloe got the escort, which isn't that good, honestly, because what if the Genesis Ross was actually fast and just blast your team? Maid Chloe soaks all the damage, and that's not what you want. Ideally, this escort would have gone to ill enough, and then it would be fine. But getting escort onto maid is kind of scary. But yeah, let's move along a little bit. The Genesis Ross blasted away the team from Elfmage here. Celine did Celine things, and the game didn't go quite as planned as Elfmage hoped, and he eventually lost. All right, next game. Yeah, this was just basically. I feel like Elfmage outdrafted Fan quite tremendously here, because it's another Ruel mage thing, and Tori with this much protection, Ruel, Salome, Tori, it's just such a toxic combo, because Tori gets so much protection. The Salome is almost always going to copy the Ruel, or if you let Hekat through, which I wouldn't advise. It's insanity. Now, there's always a case to be made to letting Hekat through. But in that case, what do you do against Sea Phantom when she outspeeds you? Because one of the natural bans here is Lydica. And yep, Fan actually did ban the Lydica. So yeah, I agree with Elfmage here. Banning the Hekat is the right play. And then you just whittle Fan down with double revivers, so to say. Also interesting to note is that Elfmage is on summer photogenic on his Tori, so he can ignore Estelle's passive mitigation, which is also very helpful in this case. Now let's speed this. Oh yeah, this game was rather short, I remember. So Elfmage presses S3, gives his Veronica one more turn. He provoked the Belian. Now we stun the DN, and then DN is basically dead. To Tori in that case, naturally. I don't even remember whether he procced Cascade here or not, but we'll find out in a second. He did proc Cascade. And yeah, since he's on summer photogenic, he just kills off the DN, who is the only real actual danger here, because Ruel can now just S2 onto the Tori, and then Tori is basically unkillable and will just very, very quickly kill off the team. And what's also cool is in elfmage's case, yeah, he was about to S3 onto the blind. It was really well played by elfmage's game. There was no chance of him losing that. Let's fast forward. Well, this game, I feel like elfmage kinda outdrafted himself. I get the idea, but Ludwig 4 was not it, especially not into this comp. She lost that game. There wasn't anything memorable about this game. So let's skip right ahead to the next game, because the last game was actually very well played by elfmage, and this one is kind of funny, and because it's a showcase of how to beat Tori, because Fan picked Tori first. So Fan's first pick was Tori, and whenever you see Tori first pick, you just go Lydica Cleave. And when you see this and you know you're going for Lydica Cleave, you deny souls or anything else, and because Zero was banned due to lunatic format, elfmage had no real danger of being contested. Now both have 2 speed imprints, and the issue Fan has, even if he were to outspeed, he is kind of in an uphill battle, because the Tomoka most likely won't necessarily kill either Beline or Ruel without soul burn, and that puts you so much behind, because Ruel can always revive, and then you're fighting an uphill battle and cannot win. So elfmage can just easily ban one of the speed imprints, whereas Fan technically has to leave both speed imprints up, but they both go for the imprints and just raise it out. And I believe elfmage very comfortably outsped here. Yeah, 5% outspeed. And that's why I said you don't lose these games as the Tori picker here. Because now Lydica provides the entire team with skill null. So the only damage left for Tori is her Cascade 4K proc, and that's pretty much it. And from here on out, the game is basically over. The top model dies right away. So does the Collie, and then it's just a 4v2 game with the enemy team, elfmage's team, having full skill null. What is Fan gonna do? He's not winning this. And the moment the lion takes a turn, especially when she has enough souls, it's going to be Jova, because Rasa's passive, which provides a huge barrier to Tori, already procced, meaning the only real saving grace is gone. And naturally, this Beline is on 3F, so it's gonna deal a lot of damage. Yeah, he gets himself some stealth, but ultimately it does not really matter. And yeah, I can understand that Fan plays this out, but with the Belian still having damage limiter and the Will having skill null, it's just not gonna happen. So Belian taking some damage here, Ras healing up, but this only prolongs basically what's coming. Belian also counters here. The Tori shield is now gone, and elfmage has enough souls. And even if this wouldn't kill here, it's over. So yeah, very nice and clean by elfmage. It was very well played. Some very good moments from elfmage in this case. So yeah, that was my take. I really liked elfmage's game, even though I feel like he kind of fumbled the 4th game. He could have easily won 3-1, but at the end of the day, nobody cares whether you won 3-0, 3-0, 3-2. The result matters. Elfmage won. He's the GOAT. I'm rooting for him. to win the entire tournament. Now that Sindri is sadly gone from the playing field, but I wish him the best of luck. And I'm most likely gonna make a top 8 video and cover his games again. So see you next time. Peace.